of 2019. There was definitely there was a lot of good movies. We reviewed right around 20 movies, I believe. Probably more like 30 if we're counting the old movies that didn't come out in 2019. But you want to just start out your list? We can go.
We'll start with
fives and 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, well, see, we only have fives. This year, I think we saw total like maybe. We'll have to get a total number on that and let you guys know at some point, or maybe comment.
The number will be right here.
But this is how many movies we've seen this year, and yeah, we're gonna do a top 5 best and a top 5 most disappointing movies. Before I get into my top 5 list of best movies, I wanted to say some honorable mentions. Ones they're not gonna be on my list, but I really enjoyed them a lot. And those are The Curse of La Llorona. That one really came out of nowhere, and we really enjoyed it. It was probably the best time we had in a theater, which is why it was really close to making my list. Even though the final act was really entertaining, it still was kind of right there in the middle for me a little bit. But I still really enjoyed that movie. Also, It Chapter 2, Shazam, Toy Story 4, and Midway. Those are all movies that I really, really enjoyed, but they did not make this list. I just want to make sure I made a mention of them.
I guess, yeah, it's pretty much the same with you. It Chapter 2 is on there. Curse of La Llorona, which is a movie I've seen on a lot of people's worst lists. It's obviously it's everyone's opinion. It's a movie. Also, yeah, Midway. RAMBO is a really good one that's not on here. And say that's about it. There were a lot of good movies this year. But
so
number 5.
My number 5, so obviously starting 5 is one the best,
yeah.
And then 5 on. Number 5 for me is Rambo: The Last Blood, or Rambo: Last Blood. I really enjoyed this movie. It was a great storyline, some great action. I love the actor Sylvester Stallone. It was just a really action-packed movie. I thought the final act was really good. There was just a lot of just really cool scenes, and I just thought it was a really solid film that we don't really see that much of today. Give me a second.
Yeah, Rambo was definitely, it was really close for me.
Didn't make your list, right?
No, it didn't make it. It was definitely really good. At number 5 for me is Shazam. Now, Shazam is a movie that it came out right around the same time as Captain Marvel, but it's very similar kind of superhero. Apparently, they're both called the same thing in the comics. But I definitely liked this movie. I liked the character. I liked how he was the kid, and then the superpower was the adult. And the actor for Shazam was really good. The supporting actor, the actor from It. I definitely liked all the cast in it. There was a really good villain in it too. I liked the whole storyline.
The piano scene.
And it's definitely a very good movie, and definitely deserves to be on this list. Ending was great with Superman. It was just
a good solo film in that universe.
It's definitely a good solo movie, and that is number 5 for me.
So number 4 for me for best movies of 2019 was John Wick Chapter 3. This movie we did not see in theaters. We wish we did. We don't understand why we didn't. We really just got into. We basically watched John Wick and John Wick Chapter 2 on TV one day before we decided to watch the Blu-ray of John Wick 3. And we really, this whole universe is awesome. I don't know how we were behind on this. Our uncle had told us to watch this, and we just never got around to it. Now that we've seen it, we're going to be seeing every single John Wick that comes out here on out in theaters day one. Yeah. This film was just really awesome. Some awesome fight scenes. If you like kills and stuff, this is your kind of movie. A really cool scene of 2 guys loading their gun. Kitty, what are you doing?
Kitty, you trying to knock down the camera?
That's not your scratching post. There's a scene of them walking into a room, loading a gun. There's some just boss scenes. Not as boss as the first one, but there's still some really awesome fight scenes. The end fight scene with the hand-to-hand combat with the going through glass, just so many awesome scenes there. I really enjoyed that movie a lot, and it's definitely my number 4 movie of 2019.
Yeah, my number 4 has to go to Joker. Joker's movie came out around Halloween, and there was a lot of BS that came out before this movie about people saying it was going to start violence, and we even went to the theater, and there was a bunch of cops already there. It's really crazy to see. There was already cops there. But this movie was really good. I was very surprised by this movie. You don't know where it's going to be in the universe when you first walk in. Joaquin Phoenix is really good. He's up there with Heath Ledger for the best Joker. There's shocking moments in this movie. There's moments I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know. I really don't know what's going to happen. Absolutely shocking moments. And the ending that makes me want to see more with this Joker and the whole universe as a whole. And that's definitely number 4 for me.
So my number 3 movie of 2019 was his number 4, The Joker, or just Joker. It was definitely a movie that was just a great movie. And for us, it was amazing because it was such a great movie, but there was very little action. It was mainly just a character story, which you would think I would assume I would not like that movie as much as an action film, but I was still invested and not bored 1 second of this film. It was just interesting to see what was real, what was not. Like, I always wanted to see how the Joker became the Joker, and this story portrays that perfectly. Like, how many bad things happen to this guy, and just leads him down this road to where he thinks he's doing the right thing and stuff. Like, it's just his world. Some really cool scenes, like that talk show, whatever. And as a DC fan, as you can see, I would love to see this Joker get integrated into the greater DCEU. I know they said it's not, but the fact that it made $1 billion, I'm pretty sure it can if they want to. They could definitely try to say something. I know they showed different people for Batman, but with the multiverse and all this stuff, I'm sure they could work that out. Some really funny scenes, and just a great, one of the best, probably the best performance of 2019. If I was grading the best performance of an actor or actress, he'd probably have to get my top performance the entire year. So that's my number 3 movie, is the Joker.
Oh, number 3 for me would have to be Godzilla King of the Monsters. Now, obviously, I cover a lot of monster stuff on my channel, and I'm not just putting it on here just because of that. I really did like this movie. I was really excited for this movie, and there's a bunch of different monsters integrated. There's a bunch of new monsters introduced in this movie. I really liked all the introductions of all the monsters. Rodan, Mothra, King Ghidorah, Godzilla, even though you already saw Godzilla. There are a lot of new monsters in this movie I like. I like how many they have. The new ones like Behemoth. And obviously I get a lot more content for my channel based on this movie.
Too.
And yeah, the fights are really good. There's a lot of funny moments. A lot of moments I did not expect to see. And there are a lot of great moments in this movie. And it sets up for one of the most epic movies maybe to ever happen. Godzilla vs. Kong. And that is number 3.
My number 2 movie on my best list of movies of 2019 was Avengers Endgame. And this one it really could have been number 1, but there was a little bit of baggage with this one, and there's a lot of great stuff in this movie, like some of the best scenes of the entire year. But for me, it's my number 2 movie, which I could just go on and on about why. I mean, the fight scenes alone, between Captain America, Iron Man, Thor, and Thanos was enough for the price of admission. Just seeing the storylines, Infinity War was such a cliffhanger. I wanted to see how they handled that, and there was some cool time travel stuff. People dying, things happening, and I thought they handled a character that we don't really like that much in a pretty okay way. There were some frustrating things, but they've definitely erased some of the things by having a major punch happen. This scene right here. The most satisfying scene of the year of 2019 had to be the scene with Thanos punch Captain Marvel. That's my number 2 movie, is Avengers Endgame. I like seeing those characters, and and another thing I want to give them credit for is, like, they handled, even though they're trying to push things right now, they gave the ending that was deserved to Iron Man and Captain America. They ended Iron Man and Captain America in the best possible way I think you could have done. And yeah, I have to give credit for that. And that was my number 2 movie of 2019.
Yeah, my number 2 movie is also Avengers Endgame. And yeah, it really is tough to have an Avengers movie not at number 1. It really is tough. But yeah, like you said, there's just so much baggage on this movie. And I have to say, it's so frustrating that Captain Marvel comes out before this, and then she's in this movie, and I just can't ignore it. I tried, but it's such a just dirty spot on this movie that just after that movie, it's so hard to ignore it, and then other little things in there that have not been in the universe before is really what makes that movie not number 1. But yeah, this movie is amazing. There are amazing scenes in this. Captain America fighting Thanos is just amazing. That whole fight between the big 3, the fight at the end, the time travel stuff is really funny, and that's what makes this number 2. And it really is tough to not put this number 1, but because of that stuff, it's not. But it's still an amazing movie that has some of the best scenes ever.
Still number 2 for us.
Yeah.
My number 1 film of 2019 was one that he just mentioned, and it was Godzilla, King of the Monsters. It's definitely my favorite movie of 2019. I was probably most excited for this one, even though Avengers Endgame was right there next to it. This movie just, for me personally, it gave me so many monsters, so much action. I was never bored. I liked the characters were actually kind of entertaining and funny for the most part. There's some funny scenes, some ridiculous scenes, like King Ghidorah leaning back way too far to kill a little girl. The fight scenes alone, there's multiple fight scenes, and the fact, like you said, it's kind of like just building this universe. We already knew there was Godzilla, we already knew there was Kong, but it introduced not only one monster, but introduced King Ghidorah, Rodan, and Mothra, the ones they feature the most in this movie.
And 17.
And they also set up a bunch of other ones. Like, they honestly, one of our favorite ones as time's gone on is probably one that was barely shown in this film, which is Behemoth. Yeah. They showed a couple other ones like Scylla,
the Methuselah.
Yeah, there's like other ones.
Mountain.
There's just so many things that like it was just such an awesome world building thing, and then it ended so epically. When I read that on Reddit like chat one time, it said it ends with Godzilla looking over all the monsters and they all bow down. I'm like, okay, this is some like fans doing this as a joke. And then when it happened, I'm like, this is actually happening right now. Seeing that and seeing kind of like the monsters kind of like team up on size is just really cool. And obviously for this channel, it's a huge thing for us, is seeing monsters. And it's just when you see a film like this, you gotta go support it. You just have to keep supporting films like these because they're trying to push them out. Right now, this is the only universe. Unless they bring Pacific Rim back and like keep it going, this is all we got right now. So you gotta go out and support Godzilla vs. Kong.
Yeah, that's all we got left.
November, we gotta get out there, guys, and see this movie multiple effing times. My number one movie of 2019 was definitely Godzilla King of the Monsters, as I bought it on Blu-ray. This poster here, a little side comment, will be changed to probably Godzilla.
Yeah.
Hold on.
So, what is this deal?
How is that?
My number one movie for 2019 is John Wick 3. This movie, we saw this at our house, and I was still just blown away. I cannot believe we didn't go see this in theaters. I am so mad at myself that we did not go see this, because this movie was just amazing. There are fight scenes in this movie that are some. I didn't think this movie. People were saying how amazing it was. Like, it can't be that great. It can't be better than the first two, but it was. There's amazing scenes with knives being thrown. More amazing scenes where John Wick kills someone with a book, and then amazing scene with the dogs. It's this, and then with the bikes, and then ninjas at the end. This movie is just a great action movie, and it's my favorite out of the three, and it's just absolutely amazing. And there's no BS in this movie. It's just a good movie. And that's why it's above Avengers to me, just because there's just no BS in it. It's just a good movie with great action. And this is number one. We have to support films like these, especially. And this movie is just amazing. It's more than what I thought it was going to be, and it's definitely number one for 2019.
That concludes our best movies of 2019 video. Stay tuned for our top 5 most disappointing movies of 2019, or just most disappointing movies of 2019. Yeah, so thanks for watching this video, and we will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.